Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play. This time around, it is NFL Quarterback Club for the Game Boy. It may say NFL Quarterback Challenge right here, where you're supposed to press start, but it's really NFL Quarterback Club. Even the copyright screen says that. This is not an actual football game. It's not like we're playing Madden or anything EA or anything that came out back in the day. It's a series of football-related mini-games. When you press start, you can choose between 1, 2, 4, or 6 players. Sadly, you cannot pick 3 or 5. For the duration of this video, I'm going to pick 1 player, and you can choose to play either a single event or play it through a tournament, which is all of the events one after the other. I'm going to be doing single event throughout this video. You have 4 events: accuracy competition, speed and mobility, distance competition, and read and recognition. I'm going to go from the top to the bottom, and I'm going to start with accuracy competition first. This is the game you want to play to figure out how to do things. You also get to choose a difficulty: easy, medium, or hard. I'm going to be playing on easy for these videos, as well as the next video, which is the tournament mode. I may come back and play this on other difficulties. After you select your difficulty, you'll get to choose your player. You can play as Jeff Hostetler of the Los Angeles Raiders, Phil Simms of the New York Giants, Steve Young of the San Francisco 49ers. This game did come out in 1993, by the way. Mark Rypien of the Washington Red Team, Boomer Esiason of the New York Jets, Bernie Kosar of the Cleveland Browns, John Elway of the Denver Broncos, Warren Moon of the Houston Oilers, now known as the Tennessee Titans, Jim Everett of the Los Angeles Rams. They're in Las Vegas now as of the time of this recording. Randall Cunningham of the Philadelphia Eagles, Jim Harbaugh of the Chicago Bears, Troy Aikman of the Dallas Cowboys, and Jim Kelly of the Buffalo Bills. For the duration of this video, I will be playing as Troy Aikman, because why not? I'm not exactly a football guy. But first game, the accuracy challenge. Here's how it works. You hold the A button so the first marker moves. That's your distance. You'll then cause a second marker to move to the left. You want to press A so that the second marker lands on the first line. That's your accuracy. There are 5 lines on the gauge. The very first one is for accuracy, the other 4 are for distance. As you can see, right here, we are at the second closest distance, so we use the second distance line, and then try to get on the first marker. I managed to get it on both, more or less, and that gave us a pretty good bullseye. And I get pretty close here, too. It got a little farther, so I had to use the third line, and then make it to the first line for accuracy. And then I do it again. Not bad. Now it's going to be as far as it can be. We have to get it all the way to the last line. Not the end, but close to it. And then get it all the way back to the first line. Bullseye. A good 20 points. Place second, behind Simms. And now we have an accuracy shootout between Aikman and Simms. I go first. Thankfully, I knew what the distance was. I couldn't see the number clearly, yet it was still close, so I had to use a second line. Not the most accurate shot, but I still managed to get it on the bullseye. Phil Simms, on the other hand, because we're on easy, he doesn't do as well. And he only hits that outer ring. So, I score 8 points, he scores 4. I win the shootout. I win the competition. I'm the one going to the pay window and getting that money. If only that $17,500 was real. And now that we played a single event, we go all the way to the start of the menus all over again to go to speed and mobility. By the way, one-player mode at the very start, you just pass the Game Boy around, while the two-player mode at the very start lets you pick or lets you play with the Game Link. That's basically the Game Link mode. It lets you pick the Game Link mode, basically. Speed and mobility. Once again, I am playing as Aikman, and this is the hardest of the 4 mini games. What you need to do is you hold right here, and you have to press B as late as possible to duck under that. You walk up and around the cone, you walk down and around the little stand there, you press B right there to jump over the hurdle, and then you press A as quickly as you can, so that way it hits the line in the center of the gauge down there, so that way you can throw a perfect shot and hit a bullseye. If you can somehow hit an inner or outer ring on the target, you get a bonus where you lose half a minute. You actually get to cut your time down a little bit. Now here I fouled. Because of that, I gained a minute on time. I gained a second. And I didn't do as well here. So I did hit a ring. I lost half a second, but I gained a full second from the foul there. That's what I meant to say. I shouldn't have said minute. I should have said second. And obviously, this is not my strongest minigame, and I place all the way at the bottom. You have to hold right as much as possible while deviating as little as you can while moving up and down. You basically want to minimize up and down movements on that game. The more you do that, the faster you can get through it. Now it is time for distance competition. This is the easiest of the 4 minigames. So, distance is easiest, speed and mobility is the hardest. I would put accuracy competition behind the distance, and then the last minigame, read and recognition, would come before speed and mobility. Distance challenge, this is the easiest one. For this one, you have to press A and B, so that way you can move the flat marker as the more rounded marker goes all the way to the right. If you can get your flat marker all the way to the right, you can get the maximum distance. Sadly, I only got like 69 and 38 for the two numbers respectively. But I do a lot better here, and I get a distance of 79, which means I get a score of 58. You definitely want to get as much distance as possible. The maximum you can get is 80. You want to get like a high 70s into the 80s. And I managed to place in the top 2. This time around, instead of rapidly mashing A and B, I rapidly mash A and B at the same time. That makes it a little easier to get through this. I get the maximum distance, I get the maximum score, and because we're playing on the easy difficulty like we did on all the other minigames, Phil Simms once again has trouble trying to beat me. It's not even close here, honestly. And, hey, what do you know? I won $22,000. Nice. And now it is time to play the last minigame, which is read and recognition. I hope that you paid attention during the accuracy competition minigame, because it plays like that, but you have 4 targets, 2 of them flash, and you need to hit the one that's further away. You only really need to concentrate on the 2 targets in the back. If you know where the distance lines are and when to let go of the button on the first press, you should be able to do this. And we're going to play on easy, and you're going to get to see what I mean by what I just talked about once I go into the player select screen, choose Troy Aikman, and then get this show on the road. Read and recognition. Let's do this. So you just want to pay attention to the 2 targets in the back. The one all the way in the back is flashing. You want to make sure you hit the last distance line. Let go of the button once you reach it. and then press A again once the marker, when it moves left, you get it on the first line. Once again, if you've played accuracy competition and you've gotten that down pat, you should have no problem doing this one. Just as long as you remember to only pay attention to the 2 targets in the back. And if you don't know how to use the distance lines, which line goes to what distance, you'll more easily figure it out here. By far. And I'm hitting a few good ones. I wish I could hit more bullseyes, but that wasn't good enough to get me to second place. Now I'm up against Rypian, and I'm first in the read and recognition shootout. Thankfully, I remembered what distance the thing was. It's the second distance. Not the best shot, but somehow I nearly got a bullseye. That's incredible. And because it's the easy difficulty, Rypian has a little bit of trouble beating me. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. If I butchered it, I'm sorry. 24 to 18, yeah, I'd say that 30 grand is mine. So that's 52, that's $69,500 I won on this video. If only that wasn't a fictional $69,500. But anyway, I showed how to play those games. In the next video, I will be playing the tournament mode on easy. Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!